I didn't want to give it.
I have destroyed my life, but I'll do it. We are only going to select 2 people. I'm sorry for what's going to happen to you guys tomorrow. Just do your best. The idea for this series is very simple. Me and Bala, both of us, we're going to train one person each, and who that person is going to be, we'll let you know in some time. We are going to train this person. We'll let you know on the process of how we personally train somebody. You'll understand the nuances of what coaching entails, and that person is going to transform. So, let's start from the start. I posted this on Instagram that I wanted to conduct auditions. After a point, I stopped posting about it on Instagram because I was really hoping that we'll get like 50 to 100 people, mostly from Pune.
That's it. That was the expectation, but what turned out is a completely other story.
I picked up Bala from my house, and
I came to your house.
Bala came to my house, and then we both
left for the venue.
Yeah, left for the venue.
Good morning, everyone. We are on our way, and let's see. Today is the big day. Bala, क्या लगता है कितना लोग आने वाले हैं?
100.
100. I'm actually hoping कि 100 से थोड़े कम ही हो. Otherwise, it will become very difficult.
And to our surprise, it wasn't just 50 or 100 people. There were close to 400 people.
You should see the look on my face when I saw the crowd. I was like, they might have captured it. We'll see if we can actually get that.
Oh my god.
Oh, ho, ho, ho.
Oh, yikes. That's definitely not 100.
I was just like, my jaw almost dropped.
There were so many people. I've had 500, 600 people at some point in my seminars. But this is long back, 2016, 17, when people really look forward to these kind of events. But this 400 people from all over the country.
Seminar is a different story. So you are going to their place and doing it. They are coming with a commitment of staying here for 3 months. That's crazy.
Yeah, I was surprised. So we were not expecting so many of you. Everybody was kind of looking forward to staying here in Pune for 12 weeks. At one point of time, I was asking Bala, are these people really coming here to stay? Or maybe they are kind of drawn in because of the 50,000 stipend we were offering them. So we had no idea. But we went to the venue, and here's the fun part. Because I had not mentioned any kind of criteria online, and even Bala did not know anything about how we are going to select people.
Nobody knows the criteria except for me, not even Bala. Bala, do you know the criteria? No. Right.
This was the first time we told the volunteers what the criteria was.
This is the first time I'm telling these volunteers, okay? Only volunteers come here. Guys, they know the criteria now. Now, you are going to be performing a series of tasks.
We lined up everybody, almost all 300-400 people in 10 different rows with 30-40 people in each row, and then began the tasks. The first task was basically a squat. Right?
Bodyweight squats.
Start! The last warning, sir. How many reps did you do? I don't know, I didn't count. 300. You can stop.
And it was crazy, because there were some people who ended up doing close to 400 squats. Close to 400 squats. In my row, there was a lady who did almost 400 squats, and she was not ready to give up. So this was crazy. And after squats, we did push-ups.
Push-ups.
Turn this side! Come on! Don't stop! Think you gave 100?
I didn't want to give it.
Yeah! The next is sit-ups.
And then we did sit-ups.
Don't stop! Don't stop!
And then we asked these guys to do sprints. Here's the crazy part. There were a lot of people who came to me and said, JC, this is unfair. because there's no way we are going to compete with these guys. There's so many fit people. I'm unfit. I don't think I'll be able to compete with these folks. And I wanted to quit. And I told them, buddy, just stay back. You don't know what the criteria is. Just stay back. Just give it your best. And when I told Bala that this is the criteria, I think Bala was also surprised.
I was surprised, but it was fair enough. It was fair enough.
Yeah. So until this point, everybody thought that, we are going to pick the best out of the best, right? Whoever wins these tasks. What they did not know was that we were actually looking for the best and the worst, right? And when we called up who have performed the worst in all of these tasks, everybody was so surprised. In fact, I think that was interesting because everybody was cheering for the guys when we called out those guys who had no idea that they'd be able to make it through the auditions. And then we divided the groups. We had a lot of people. I think there were about 50 odd people who we finalized.
You guys are the 50 people we have selected.
Yeah, we ended up for the second phase of the trials, we ended up selecting more than 50 or 60 people. And then we asked them to perform sprints.
Okay.
And I told them that, hey, this is going to be the best of the best. And they believed me and everybody tried their best. But then again, it was a surprise. We were again looking for the best and the worst. Because the whole idea was that I'm going to train the worst and Bala was going to train the best performing person.
These are the performers. And all of them will get fitter. Right, that's the idea. So we'll have final interview with you guys.
And with this series, the idea was that, hey, it doesn't matter whether you're fit or whether you are the most unfit. Everybody can get fitter. So that was the whole idea. I think it was a pretty good day, well spent in the sun. Some of the things that blew my mind was the fact that there were so many people who were almost 40 and 50 plus. There was this lady I would love to mention. She ended up doing 400 sit-ups. She was 50.
Yeah.
There was this guy who was almost 150 kgs.
Oh yeah.
And he was not willing to give up.
Not willing to give up.
Another guy, there was 130 kgs and he was not willing to give up. We had cancer survivors. We had people who had type 1 diabetes, who were on insulin. We had soldiers, army officers, Major Khan. We had housewives, we had businessmen. We had all sorts of people. It was incredible to see people coming from all parts of the country and even outside India.
My husband stays in a different country. I'm traveling from Oman. He said, "Ja Simran ji le apni zindagi."
That is so cool.
Yeah.
I remember some lady,
Oman.
her entire family came from Oman.
Yeah.
Right? Bala, what would you say was the most memorable experience for you on that day?
No matter what the criteria is, because they were not aware, everyone was giving their best. I can see it in their efforts throughout, and even the people who were on the heavier side, unfit, they were also willing to do anything to clear that round. So that kind of motivated me also.
And I think that was the reason why we didn't mention the criteria earlier, because if we had mentioned the criteria that, hey, I'm going to select the worst performers, I don't think people would be willing to give their best, because they thought it's an unfair fight. They still went ahead and gave their best, right?
Yeah.
So that kind of gives me hope that, I know that you're not the best performer, but you are a fighter. And as long as you are willing to fight, I can train you, I can help you. Help me help you. That was the whole idea. Yeah, and then after the whole selection process, I think I had like 8 finalists whom I had to interview.
8 of you guys at the bar. There's 4 males and 4 females, right?
Yes.
I'll see you.
8 finalists. And out of that, we had to pick one person. So one person and one backup. And Bala had to select one person with one backup.
One from my list of people, and things I would be checking out might be different based on their journey, their challenges which they have faced earlier in their journey.
I'll be fully dedicating 1 hour of my day training that person, right? And I'll be monitoring that person. And I think a lot of people would say, hey, JC, it's probably easy for anybody to get fit if they are, staying with you for 12 weeks, leaving everything. But that is not the point I'm trying to make here, because I've trained people who are extremely busy. I wanted to train someone who you can observe 24/7, right? Where you are getting access to each and every aspect of training. So it's more from the learning point of view, not so much from the transformation point of view.
The purpose is to educate everyone also on what goes in for a transformation, right from the client side as well as us as coaches.
Yeah, we wanted to make sure that the person is available with us at all times because there are so many things. For example, I know for a fact that I'd love to explain the person when the person gets selected. I love to have him in Pune, and then on camera I'd love to explain people what is the end goal, what is the expectation. If you have this kind of body, this is how far you can go. In a similar manner, I think Bala can also point out similar kind of things when he's training his client. I really hope that you guys, by watching these videos, watching how we train people, you'd be learning enough to self-transform. So stay tuned, and in the next episode we'll let you know who made it to the final list.
Okay, so we're not revealing now.
Now I think people will have to wait and watch. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.